Well, you ever wonder who is behind all of these leaks that's been coming out of the Trump administration? Private phone conversations, data on who was saying what to the Russians and when they were saying it down word for word. Well, House Intelligence Committee Chair Devin Nunes is blaming top Obama administration officials for all of this. Reaction now from retired four-star General Jack Keane. General, what do you make of that the prior administration, or at least officials maybe still in the capacity to serve in this one, was and is behind all that?
Well, I think there may be something to it. I mean, the reality is that some of these transcripts that were released were actually released at the time that we had President-elect Trump. He had not been inaugurated yet, and then clearly the Obama administration had senior officials who were actually seeing those transcripts. Very few people get to see actual transcripts of phone conversations, and I think that's what's got this administration so concerned. And I can remember the president talking about it, in particular his own phone conversations with world leaders were released to the media, and that cannot go on. I mean, our president has got to be able to have classified conversations with world leaders if he's going to be permitted to do his job. So obviously they're trying to undermine his capacity to be president of the United States, and how shameful is that?
You know what worries me, General, and you and I have chatted about this before. I remember distinctly Chuck Schumer's warning to Donald Trump after the election, and he was criticizing intelligence agencies and all that. You be careful, more or less saying you might regret doing that. It almost sounded like a threat, and then lo and behold, all of these revelations come to pass. It is true that, those inside these agencies are still doing this sort of stuff. How do you weed them out?
Well, good leadership, focusing on the mission, assessing your people properly certainly is part of that. Not all of the leaders are in place yet. That will take a few more months actually to get the first tier of leaders in, and then actually the second tier of leaders as well. It's shameful how long it takes for us to assemble a government. Most of our government, in terms of all of the appointees, will not be in place until the summer or possibly even the fall, because we're so far behind. To give you a sense of it, there are 54 appointments to the Department of Defense. Only one of them has been filled, and that's the Secretary of Defense. And the committee, the Senate Armed Services Committee, has no nominations that they're looking at. So there's some kind of constipation in this process.
To put it mildly. In the meantime, I know for the National Security Advisor position you don't need Senate approval, but I'm wondering how it will go for General McMaster in that capacity, replacing Michael Flynn. Obviously, does he have to be extra leery of who he's talking to and when he's talking to them? What do you do?
Well, I think he'll just be himself. I mean, I had an opportunity to talk to him just before his interview, frankly, and he said, "What do you think?" I said, "Just go in there and be yourself. Be the 800-pound gorilla you really are. Let them see you for who you are." This guy, let me tell you, he's a combat experienced veteran, graduate of West Point, very, very intelligent, very articulate. He's a bit of a change agent at times, an iconoclast. He's got such a strong personality. Everybody knows where he stands on just about everything. And he works because he grew up in the circles of the military. He knows how to work with people. He works well as being a part of a team, not just leading a team. So I think
will it be his team, General? Because the talk had been that others considering this position poo-pooed it. If this is true, because they couldn't quite have all their folks behind them.
Well, I can't speculate on that, but most military people, when we take over an organization, Neil, that organization exists. And what we try to do is take that existing organization and improve it and add value to it. We don't go in there and summarily start running people out. We don't treat people that way, unless there's some unbelievable cause to do that. We grow the organization and develop the people that are working for us. That's McMaster's. He's going to go in there. He's not worried about his own team. That team's in place. He's going to go in there and strengthen it, help it grow and develop.
All right, General. Duly noted. Thank you, sir. Good seeing you again.
Good seeing you, Neil.